guys, welcome to this session and we are going to start with your new chapter of Geography Transport. I'm Ankana, your master teacher for Social Sciences at Vedanta, hoping all of you are doing absolutely amazing. So let's get quickly started by discussing the answer of the previous session's question, which was C. Nominated members of the Lok Sabha. Let's quickly see who has answered the fastest. Mohan Rai Chand, Drawing Buddy and Tanisha Gupta have answered the fastest and made it to the leaderboard. Guys, I'm so proud of you. For the rest of the people who have still not been able to come here, the trick is not to just put your answer in the live chat, but also in the comment section and the fastest. And how can you also ensure that you are not missing on, being the fastest in the comment boxes, guys, by making sure that you are joining the session on time. And how can you do that? So make sure that you are subscribed to the channel if you have not already subscribed, so that whenever new sessions are coming up, you get the notification immediately right in the beginning. And on that note, we are going to get started with this new chapter. I know a lot of you have put in a request to get started with this chapter. So guys, do not forget to hit that like button. Yeah. So what are we going to do today? So bacha, we're basically going to understand what do we mean by transport, what is its importance, and then modes of different modes of transport. But we'll discuss only first one in detail today: roads, its advantages and disadvantages. Yeah. So what do we mean by transport? Transport, guys, is actually that system which connects the different parts of country. It connects one part of country to the other. It connects one person of the country to the other. It gives the people the power, the access to each other to reach out, to travel from one place to another. And that is what transport is. That is what we mean by transport. Okay. What is its significance? How is it important? I mean, it doesn't even, we do not even really need to say or emphasize much on this, because transportation, as we know, is very important for so many things. It's like the backbone of the main structure, of the main economical structure of any country, right? It's like the lifeline, it's like the veins and the arteries. That's how transportation acts. It connects different people. It helps in development of any country. Any country, if you see, there's a graph. If you see their history, would have attained development only once the transportation would have boomed in the country. It could be different means of transport, anything. In fact, railways are said to have worked massively in the development of countries, especially during industrialization, urbanization. And it's not just railways, everything, right? So transportations have, the growth of transportation has helped a lot in industrialization, in urbanization, and has helped a lot in development of the country, in constructing the economic infrastructure. It has also promoted the trade, commerce and the industry. At the same time, if we want to move any goods from one place to the another, if we want to move the goods from the producers to the consumers or the other way, transportation is what has helped us. Not just moving the goods from producer and consumer and forming the connection, but also during times of crisis, guys. Whenever there's any sort of crisis, if we want to let's say it's a disaster, there's a natural disaster, if you're not able to reach out the people through roads, then we reach them through the air, through water, whatever. Transportation helps us in doing that, which ultimately leads to growth, economical growth of any country. It also helps providing the market for agricultural or industrial based sectors. It gives them the access to the entire market, which adds to the economic value of the country. And of course, it is definitely helping in the integration of the country, because it's connecting everyone with each other. And as I told you, it acts as the nerves and the veins as a result of that. So this is how transportation becomes important. Now, what are the different modes of transportation? Simple, there are four: roadways, railways, airways and waterways. You either go by road, by railways, by air or by water. So today we are going to discuss about roadways, guys. Now, what are roadways? Let's quickly understand. So I'll actually start with a little bit of introduction to you in terms of how it started. So roads, it's not like only after industrialization or urbanization has come to us. We have always had the system of roads built in India. It has been proven by the remains of the Mohenjo-daro civilization. At the same time, Mughals were actually noticed for their road building. They used to build the road. And in fact, Shah Suri has constructed the GT trunk, the Great Canal, the GT trunk, which connects Kolkata and he actually to so many other major cities, Great Trunk Road. And he actually did that because he wanted to expand the wealth or the economy of his what do you say empire. And that's the whole purpose. I mean, like, transportation, as I told you, always helps in boosting the economy, in growth of any place, right? So even after independence, it was recognized by the people, by the main leaders of the country, and they in fact drafted a plan which had a vision of the next 20 years of how the road plan is going to look like. It had a basic plan of 20 years when it came to the road system building in India, right in there. If you see right now, we have a road network which covers around 5 lakh kilometers. That's huge, and that's as per 2016. I'm sure it has increased now, and we are in fact the second largest network in the world. If you want to classify the different kinds of roads that we have constructed, it can go into multiple things. Okay, we have around 8 of it if we broadly classify them. We have expressways, state highways, national highways, district roads, international highways, border roadways, golden quadrilateral, and village roadways. Now we are going to dwell into the depth of all of this and understand what these different types of roads are. If we talk about expressway, guys, right as the name suggests, this is actually planned for high speed traffic. There is a traffic speed limit over here, which means you cannot go below that limit because you're supposed to move so fast on it, and the limit is somewhere around 120 km per hour. It's a multi-lane, well-paved highway. Okay, it's very well planned. It's mostly like 6 to 8 lanes. It has multiple lanes, and what it actually differentiates it from different highways like national highways in general is definitely the speed, and also that there are less intersections. Okay, the number of exits or entry on this expressway is usually less. Okay, because the traffic is moving so fast, and to avoid the commotion and the chaos which sometimes happen the traffic in terms of traffic on national highways. And what's the main purpose of it? The main purpose of it is, one, definitely to reduce the travel time between 2 points that it connects, and also movement of goods and traffic from one place to the another, right? And there are different kinds of multiple added benefits which differentiates it from different highways. For example, you would find CCTV cameras on expressways, you would find phone booths, there would be ramps, there would be mobile radars, and all of these things, facilities are provided on the expressways, which is not usually found on other highways. There are few, if I talk about few expressways, then there is Yamuna Expressway, we have Mumbai to Pune Expressway, Agra Lucknow Expressway. These are few huge big expressways, and there are many more in India. Now let's quickly talk about national highways. Bacha, it's actually majorly constructed and maintained by the central government. And now you might be thinking, ma'am, NHDP and NHAI, what do they do? So Bacha, they definitely are taking the whole responsibility of maintenance and development. In earlier, somewhere around 1995, it was completely done by NHAI. Now it has been undertaken under NHDP, and they are majorly handling this. But all of these are under the supervision of central government, and that's what we mean by maintenance and construction. The major plan has been put in by them. And why was these national highways constructed? The idea was to connect the major cities with each other, and to build a whole backbone of road infrastructure. It's like the whole spine which is making the infrastructure of roadways stand straight. And it also ensures smooth traveling. Then again, there is a lot of traveling in terms of carrying goods from here to there. These are long metal roads which mostly have tolls on it. Okay, you will always see toll taxes over it. As I told you, it connects the major cities of Chennai, Kanyakumari, Leh, Mumbai, Delhi, etc. And if we talk about the longest national highway in India, Bacha, it is known as NH7. Okay, NH7 is the longest national highway. But as industrialization started happening and with the growth of population and people having more access to vehicles, and as they have started commuting more, the growth of all of this actually started bringing a lot of traffic on the national highways. But because it is under the central government, they are constantly working on improvising this with the use of advanced technologies and developing this constantly. They're taking different steps of widening the roads, making bypasses, making sure that maybe they can do multiple things, maintain the roads properly, because if there is constant use of it, it degrades the quality of the road. So they are taking all of these steps to make sure that these are in good condition. Yeah, then we have the golden quadrilateral. Why is it golden, bacha? Golden because it's connecting the most major cities, the metropolitan city of India, okay, which is Chennai, Kolkata, Delhi and Mumbai. And if you see, when these 4 points get connected, a quadrilateral is formed, and that's why we call it golden quadrilateral. This is actually implemented by National Highway Association of India. It is in fact the largest expressway, express highway project of India. As I told you, it connects the major cities, but it's not just these cities that they are connecting. Along with these metropolitan cities in the center, it's also connecting the major chunks of the other cities, developing cities in the country, and the ports also. Okay, it's also helping in improvising the truck transportation from one place to another. It is definitely pushing and fueling the growth of industries and agriculture. They are hugely dependent on roadways, on transportation. So that's what it's helping in. And as I told you, it forms a quadrilateral, and it also helps in transportation of agricultural produce. So that's golden quadrilateral. Now apart from that, as I told you, we also have state highways, district roads and village roads. If we talk about state highways, which it's basically developed and maintained by different agencies, it's more majorly under the control of state government, and they hire different agencies through by state or union territories. These agencies are hired to make sure that all of these construction, development and maintenance is taken care of. The idea of state highways is majorly to connect to the national highways. They also promote, tourist centers. They they also connect the important towns, and it's very important to form a connection at a basic level in terms of states and small towns and cities as well. So that is what the state highways are doing. Then we have at a lower level the district highways, the district roads, which connects towns and villages to bigger towns, cities, and then ahead to national highways, and these are maintained by PWD and Zilla Parishad. Then we have village roads. You wouldn't believe, but out of the whole system of the road system, around 80% of the total roads somewhere fall under the village roads, because of course we have more of the rural areas present in the country, and these are constructed and maintained by the village panchayats. That's majorly what we need to understand by the about the different types of roads in India. Now if we talk about international highways, bacha, so as it says international, which means multi-nations. So the idea of these international highways is to connect us to the neighboring countries, okay, and it's like when two countries are getting connected, naturally there are some conditions that are going to be applied over here. So these conditions have to be in agreement and aligned with the Economic and Social Commission of Asia and Pacific. Okay, now you might be thinking that, ma'am, national highways were under central government, state highways were under central government, like who, and then NHAI is taking care of the golden quadrilateral. Who is taking care of the international highways? So bacha, the whole funding for this, the money that comes in here, because different countries are getting associated, so naturally any one country is not going to bear the cost of it. So it is done by the World Bank. Yeah. After that, we also have Border Roads Organization, which forms the connection and which takes care of the development and the maintenance of the networks in terms of roads on Indian borders, okay, near the Indian borders, and also with our with neighboring countries with whom we have a friendly relationship. Not with the people we have a stress, tense relation, but in general with other other friendly countries. The Border Roads Organization is responsible for that. Now that's pretty much the different types of roadways. Now let's quickly look at what are the advantages of road transportation. One simple advantage, like one thing that immediately would come to your mind, it's so economical that it's affordable by everyone because it is the cheapest means of transport. And why is it cheapest? So of course running it is cheap, but at the same time even the construction, of the roads or the maintenance and the whole development, the amount of money that goes into roads is the cheapest compared to railways, air, water, whatever. Also, it definitely helps us getting into the places which were not accessible for us, which are in remote locations, which have a difficult terrain. All of these things which was kind of difficult for us to reach earlier, it is connecting us to these places, including the villages and urban areas. They are also getting linked very well, right? Also, bacha, transportation through road is something that provides you door-to-door service. It's not like you travel from one place and then from there to you have to take another mode of transportation. No, road connects door to door. You can travel from one door to the another door, right from the point where you want to travel to the point exactly where you want to reach. That's only possible by the road system. Also, it's very safe mode of travel when it comes to carrying or transporting goods from one place to the another, especially if you're carrying something which is perishable, which is a little difficult to ensure the quality in terms of transportation, right? And then of course it also connects the railway stations and the ports and the airports and all of these. As I told you, door to door service. When you're traveling from railway, you have to travel from one station to the other. In terms of airlines also, you have to travel from one airport to the other. But what connects you therein from exactly the point that you want to reach, your point of destination? It's the roadways, right? And then transportation of goods, agriculture, industrial products, all of this are actually reaching to the market. They're getting access to the market with the help of the roadways. It is the most favored in the northern plains because of course the flat level lands, and then of course in the plateaus also. But plateaus also have some elevation, some it's a little difficult in building smooth roads just as northern plains, but it's most difficult in the mountains. And when it comes to short distance travel, roadways are the best mode of transportation, yeah, in terms of cost, in terms of timing, in terms of safety. Everything is what it comes down to. But of course, everything that has pros has cons as well. So there are certain disadvantages to road transportation. What are they? So see, maintenance of roads is another problem, is one problem that we face a lot, especially in here. Sometimes the funds that are supposed to be there for the maintenance of the roads go short. We do not have anything, and that leads to the inconvenience of the people, right? Then sometimes we know that's a general problem, right? Some governments would prioritize the construction of the road, or they would start construction of one road, but then the government gets changed and the other government wouldn't take that in priority as a priority. The problem is that instability with the government, with the government that is in power, and their policies that they keep introducing, it does not make sure that the roads are being maintained properly and that it is in proper regulation. Also, different roads are what is important for different governments from their own perspective, for their own reasons. Then of course, unmetalled roads and poor maintenance is always there. You will always find potholes, which is also making the travel unsafe and increasing the probability of accidents happening on the road. Then road tax and toll tax, it causes unnecessary delay and it limits the people on the roads, right? It becomes a little irritating for the people who are traveling, because it also again leads to traffic congestions on the roads, and that is a problem that with or without toll taxes happens in general, which is another disadvantages which causes unwanted delay in your travel. Then most of the roads, guys, in general are not safe for running heavyweight vehicles. So these are few problems and disadvantages of the road system. Now with that, we are done with today's session, and I think that was super fast. Let's quickly look at very important homework question, but before that I want to take a quick minute and talk about your problems. We have already spoken about the problems of the roadways, but what are the potholes? What are those potholes which is creating a delay in your preparation to your board examination and your path to being a topper? I know and we know that you have doubts, you have continuous doubts, and you want to get it resolved, and you're not very sure who you approach. Then of course the notes that you should refer. I was in fact telling this in one of the other sessions that I keep on getting mails that, ma'am, the PDF is not there, ma'am, what notes should I refer to, ma'am, what is the other reference book that I should buy in order to ensure that I'm doing well, I'm covering up everything. So you need reliable, perfect notes. That is your one-stop point, right? Then how do you make sure you're getting enough amount of tests and assignments, which is ensuring that you are well practiced and well prepared for your examination, for your boards to rock it there, and also to give you continuous assessment of where you stand, how your preparation is going on, and what part do you need to take, what are the areas of growth and what are the areas of improvement, where you have already grown, and what are the certain things you need to work upon and pay more attention to. Then of course competitive exams, how do we make sure, board exams are not the only milestone that we need to achieve. The life does not stop there, and the schedule that needs to be followed, so many chapters, so many subjects. How do I make sure that with the sessions, with my tuition classes, with my school classes, with my own self-study time, I have a schedule which I can choose, wherein I can choose that, hey, I want to attend this session at this time. The choice of schedule is missing sometimes, but you just have to adjust with what is given to you. And then of course choice of language. Even now when I'm saying in English, and this entire channel has been created because you guys wanted to be taught in English, a lot of people right now would be willing to learn in some other language, or maybe Hindi. So that choice should also be given. Guys, now we have come up with a super solution for all of these problems with Vedantu Pro subscription, and it comes with a lot of bonuses. If you not know this already, let me quickly reiterate this for you, and especially for the people who are here for the first time. It comes with the bonuses of unlimited live classes. Each and every class that you take is going to be live, which ensures that you get that personalized attention, that one-on-one attention that everybody longs for. And it also ensures that all your doubts, all your questions, all your messages will be entertained right then and there by the class teachers and the master teachers, and you're gonna come out of that live session super happy, super sorted, and absolutely clear with your concepts and doubts resolved. At the same time, you're gonna get good amount of tests and assignments with the proper results, which is going to give you a constant check on your performance. And you will also get multiple quizzes. You do not have to wait for a mentee per se, and you get in class live performance reports, which keeps on giving you a check where you are. And just in case if you ever miss on a live session, maybe because you had another session to attend to, maybe because you were not well, for whatever reason, you don't have to worry that, hey, I missed the live class here, now what to do, I'll just have to watch the recorded session. No, you will have access to all the micro sessions or the crash courses, wherein you can just go and look and watch and attend the classes of the sections of the topics that you missed. How awesome is that? And how can you do all of this, guys? You just have to go on the link that is given in your description box, or that is pinned in the comment section, and follow the following steps. You have to choose your grade, choose your board, check out all the details that's there if you feel I have not given you enough information already, and then just click on the get subscription button. After that, you get two options of 1 month and 3 months. Choose whichever plan you feel is the most suitable. If you're not very sure that if you want to give it a try or not, then just go with a trial pack of 1 month. If you are 100% sure and you want to be with Vedantu and make sure that you are going to rock in your board exams, then go ahead with that plan of 3 months. We know 6 months is not going to make any more sense now, but the bigger plan you take, the bigger discount you get, and that's the most awesome part, right? The plan which was earlier available for 6,999 rupees is now available only for 5,599 rupees. But how are we getting this discount? we are getting this discount with the coupon code of AKEPRO. Just go ahead with the coupon code of AKEPRO when you go on the link that is given in the description box or which is pinned in your comment section. Apply this code and avail all the discounts that you want. Guys, whatever plan, whichever subscription you pick up, make sure you are using this code. Only then you will get access to the discount and it will be there for sure. Yeah, so make a note of the code. That is my code. And let's quickly look at your question. What is the full form of NHAI? National Highway Availability in India, National Highway Authority of India, National Highway Authority of India, or National Higher Authority of India. And guys, on that note, I want to make the happiest announcement that I have come across ever since I've joined. So we as Vedantu family together have got the best result amongst all the online classes in the IIT JEE Advanced, guys. Our dear students who are a part of Vedantu family just like you guys have bagged the top ranks in the IIT JEE Advanced. Yeah, and we are celebrating our superheroes. We are celebrating their scores. We are celebrating the hard work that they did. We are celebrating the hard work that our super master teachers did along with these students. It wouldn't have been possible without both of their efforts. We have secured 5 ranks in the top 500 All India ranks, and in fact we have taken 253 positions in the top 10,000 All India ranks, guys. That is the super, I mean, like that's such a super news, and it makes me so proud. I'm sure you guys would be proud, feeling proud as well, being associated with the Vedantu family and being a part of it, where these students, as you can see their faces right on the screen, have made us so proud. So guys, remember, Vedantu Pro is what has helped them, and if you want to see your picture here and you are also willing to do this, then you are absolutely in the right place. So do not forget to like the video on that note and subscribe to the channel so that whenever another video comes up, you get the notification immediately. Guys, do tell me in the comment section how did you like the video, and do not forget to put your doubts in the comment section, guys, because that's where we pick up your doubts from to discuss in the Doubt and the Menti session. Please guys, make sure you are putting your questions in the doubt section. I will be addressing it in the Doubt and the Menti session, and I will see you guys very soon with the second part of the session. Till then, stay home guys, take good care of yourself, stay safe, have a great evening. Bye guys, take care.